Brother Troy and John Browning, did y'all know on average giraffes sleep for less than 2 hours a day? Pythons, on the other hand, sleep for 18 hours a day.
Lazy.
Yeah, well, I wonder if it has to do with how far you are away from the Earth.
Well, they both have long necks.
They do both have long. Oh, look at Brother Troy. How about you?
That's got to be something.
You're not wrong, son. You are not wrong. Boys, did y'all know carrots are actually bad for rabbits and can cause health problems? But because of Bugs Bunny, pretty much everyone thinks rabbits love carrots. It's similar to fast food. It's okay as a treat, but it's not good if you feed a rabbit a carrot every single day.
I've been duped.
How about that? Lied to.
The whole time.
How dare Looney Tunes lie to us? Boys, did y'all know the designer who created the NBA logo also made the 1040 easy tax form? That's about as random as it gets right there. Well, don't get much more random than that. Boys, did y'all know that the D.R.E., Drizzy, Dr. Dre, did not know that Eminem was a white boy until they met in person? Dre said he was happy when he found out Eminem was white because, quote, it was so different for the rap game. How about that?
I can see that, his voice. Yeah,
I mean, you really don't really know. Yeah. And finally, boys, in something that I might have to challenge, because I'm a big proponent, especially for our list here for our random facts. I assume that they're fact checked. And I know that you're never supposed to assume because you know what happens. But I have a hard time believing this. Boys, did y'all know the band Train has more monthly listeners on Spotify than Led Zeppelin, Van Halen, The Eagles, U2, REM, Pearl Jam, Tom Petty, or Elvis Presley?
That's so heartbreaking.
That is, I refuse to believe it. It's the bots, y'all.
Yeah.
It's the bot.
I can only remember one song by Train.
Now she's back in the atmosphere.
That one. Like,
Yeah, there
really?
you go.
Wow.
Isn't that it? That's it, right? I think they might have one more. We'll do some checking
they
and
do.
let you know. There you go. There's some random facts for you. Did y'all know Google was originally called Backrub when they came up with the idea in 1996? The founders changed the name to Google about a year later. Can you imagine? Hey, who holds the record for the most number 2 hits of all time without a number 1 hit? I don't know. Let me backrub that for you. It just doesn't have the same to it, does it? The state and capital city with the fewest total letters combined is Boise, Idaho, with 10 total letters. We've had a lot of random facts here, y'all. That is close to being as random as we've ever had. Did y'all know the world's smallest international bridge is only 19 feet long? It's an old rustic bridge that connects the Spanish village of El Marco to the Portuguese village of Varza Grande. 19 feet long, the smallest international bridge. How about that? And finally, did y'all know the oldest living child of a president is Linda Bird Johnson Robb? She's LBJ, that's Lyndon Baines Johnson's oldest daughter, and she turns 81 years old today. There you go. There's some random facts for you. Did you know the word graffiti is plural?
No,
The singular form of graffiti is graffito.
I did not know that.
I did not know that at all. Kevin Russell, did you know the first Wrigley Field wasn't in Chicago? A baseball park in Los Angeles called Wrigley Field opened in 1925. The Cubs Stadium was called Cubs Park at that point, but changed its name to Wrigley Field in 1926. The one in L.A. was torn down in 1969.
Huh.
How about that? Boston was named after a 7th century saint called Botolph of Thorney. Very few details are known about this person's life, other than he hated the Yankees too, just like all native Bostonians. Kevin Russell, did you know a shape with 1,000 sides is called a chilagon?
That's pretty cool.
Dude, that is really cool.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I'm going to go hang out in my chilagon. And finally, Kevin Russell, did you know, according to the law in Switzerland, you are not allowed to force domestic poultry to wear glasses or contact lenses? What are you, a park ranger now? It is the upside. There you go. There's some random facts. Don't be putting glasses or contact lenses on your chicken, especially if you live in Switzerland. They frown upon that. It is straight up 7 o'clock. Did you know grabbing another player by the face mask wasn't illegal in the NFL until 1962?
Really?
Pretty sure up until 1948, you could still, like, physically kill people.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure that was they just put you on the injured list for a day and put you on
fighting
life support.
tendency
That's
carried over.
That's exactly
Yeah.
right, son. John Browning, did you know Pixar was editing Toy Story 2, someone managed to accidentally delete a huge chunk of the movie? They miraculously found a backup. An employee on maternity leave saved it so she could work on it at home.
Oh, wow.
How about that, son?
That's awesome.
John Browning, did you know the average $1 bill has 3,000 different types of bacteria on it?
My favorite.
Yeah, dude, that's
Big fan.
I just would have assumed that was on the low end, right? I mean, we've all heard about how dirty money is, literally and figuratively, And finally, John Browning, did you know the first EP, which is extended play, to ever reach #1 on the Billboard 200 was in 1994, Jar of Flies by Alice in Chains.
Oh, wow.
There are only 7 tracks, and it feels like part of a greatest hits album now. On that album, I Stay Away, Nutshell, and No Excuses, son. It's been more common since then. 15 EPs have hit #1 since Alice in Chains first did it in 1994. There you go. Did you know there are approximately 1.1 million Americans who do not have indoor plumbing?
What?
They just have an outhouse
I think it's great.
or a hole in the ground. 1.1 million Americans. Those are people who are, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. That's those people right there. John Browning, did you know Philadelphia is the only city that has had 4 major sports teams in a championship game in the same year?
Oh, wow.
Yep. In 1980, the Phillies were in the World Series, the Eagles were in the Super Bowl, the Sixers were in the NBA Finals, and the Flyers were in the Stanley Cup Finals.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is cool. Only one won the champion. Only one, O-N-E, won, W-O-N,
Yeah.
their respective championship. That was the Phillies, the
Oh.
1980 World Champions. How about that, son?
There you go.
John Browning, did you know Taylor Swift holds the record for the most consecutive #1 albums with 14? 14 in a row. #2 is a tie. Kanye West, or Yeezy, whatever you
Wow.
want to call him,
Okay.
and Eminem have had 11 in a row. Jay-Z has had 10 in a row. And the OG streak that started it all, the Beatles, had 9 in a row. Did you know, hang on, let me get my bell ringing fingers ready for you. Did you know the United States Constitution is the only constitution from the 1700s still in use today? That's right, baby.
That's awesome.
America, son. That's what I'm talking
love
about.
it.
And finally, John Browning, did you know Harrison Ford was paid $10,000 for the first Star Wars movie? For the Return of the Jedi, the third Star Wars movie, he made 50 times that, $500,000, $500,000. And when he did The Force Awakens back in 2015, he made 2,000 times the amount of what he made for Return of the Jedi, $20 million.
Good for him.
That's right, son. We love the Ford. There you go. There's some random facts for you.